Welcome back to RamZland. Today we're going to grow some amazing stalactites. Check it out. All I'm using in this investigation is a glass of water, some sodium hydroxide, copper sulfate, scissors, screen replacement mesh, and a spoon. To begin, cut a square of your screen replacement mesh that you can put over the top of your glass. Next, bend the aluminum screen mesh so that the center of the mesh sits a little bit in the water, just enough to break the surface. Next, add 4 grams of sodium hydroxide to an 8-ounce glass of water. Stir the sodium hydroxide until it's all dissolved in the water. Next, you're ready to add 8 grams of copper sulfate to the center of your wire mesh. The next step is to lower the mesh so that it breaks the surface of the aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide that you made. And now you're ready to begin watching your stalactites form. This is a double displacement precipitation reaction where the copper sulfate and the sodium hydroxide exchange ions, and the sodium hydroxide changes into sodium sulfate, and the copper sulfate changes into copper hydroxide. Okay, so what's going on in this cool stalactite demonstration is we started with an aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide, which is a really strong base. And then we created a solution of copper 2 sulfate, that's the CuSO4, by simply adding it to the aluminum mesh and then lowering it into the solution. And so what happened was that copper sulfate traded ions with the sodium hydroxide in a double displacement reaction where the precipitant was copper hydroxide. And those were the blue stalactites that you saw form, and of course sodium sulfate. Here's another look at that insoluble copper hydroxide precipitant that formed these wonderful stalactites. Aren't they amazing? Look how long they are. And this was after about an hour, 20 minutes. Just awesome.
Well, I hope you enjoyed today's edition of RamZland, and I'll see you next time.